Welcome to another edition of Keeping It Real with Rob. I'm your host, Rob Conant. For today's episode, we are joined by Coach Sopko from the Green Level Boys Lacrosse team.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so let's get right into it. How has the season been so far for you guys?
A little bit of a roller coaster. It's, we've had our highs and we've had our lows a little bit. I think when you bring back a lot of talent and a few pieces don't come back, right? Everyone just kind of assumes things are going to go well and, you're going to leave kind of where you left off. So I think just finding that period of we need to find our identity and what does the 2023 team look like, right? We know what the 2022 team looked like. And yes, we still have a lot of those players, but roles have changed and new faces have come into the program. So yeah, just trying to still find our identity. Compete level's been really high, and excited where we're kind of trending. And hopefully, as the season goes on, we can kind of just keep building and gaining some momentum.
Are there any senior leaders that have stepped up so far?
So 2 seniors, 4-year guys in the program. Michael Tucker, he does a good job on the defensive end. Gabe Willis, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything, really good in between the lines. And then offensively, has a good presence. So excited to have those 2 back and to see kind of 4-year guys come through the program is really cool. Last year being our first senior class was really weird. Year 1 was COVID. Year 2 kind of felt like almost like a travel-oriented lacrosse season because we didn't have buses. We weren't really in school. We were like hybrid-ish. And then last year kind of felt like our first like real normal season where we were in school. We had buses. We had pregame meal. We had like just kind of things that you don't expect to go away. And then it's cool to see a couple of 4-year guys and impact 4-year guys see what they could do their senior year.
I feel like that's kind of been the ongoing theme. We've been doing this podcast with Green Level Athletics for a few months now. So we've gotten a chance to interview some other coaches from other teams. And I feel like that's the ongoing theme is, again, for those that do not know, Green Level has only been at school for 4 years. And that first year was, the height of the pandemic. And so it was just weird for everyone, and you couldn't get a real feel for how it's supposed to be with this program that we're trying to build. And you made a very good point of the first couple of years where it didn't seem like a real high school program, and you didn't get that actual feeling until last year for the first time.
Yeah, definitely very interesting. And each year has kind of had its we built on the previous year, and we're hoping that we kind of continue that trend. But to bring us back to that first full year, the first time we got on a bus was a charter bus to Charlotte for the playoffs. So it was like not only we made the playoffs, which is awesome, but I was like, this has got to be like crazy just getting on a bus the first time, in the latter half of our season and traveling 2.5 hours. Like it was nuts. And then, last year we had a good playoff run. And again, just still trying to kind of build that foundation and, what does Green Level Lacrosse look like in school, on the field. And I think still being so young and having the success we've had has been interesting too. I think if we played year 1, we take a lot of lumps and it's a true like learning experience. The kids now, they know success because we've been pretty talented. And I almost wish we had year 1 to just kind of not always, first full year was we went 9-2, made playoffs. Like it was awesome. But I think that first year having that would have really just kind of helped lay a little bit maybe better of a foundation because we wouldn't have the kids know success, which is awesome. But I think kind of knowing that hard time and some trials and tributes would have been good for our program as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to go back, since you were mentioning some senior leaders. I've also noticed so far this season, when I'm writing the recaps for the website, there's some underclassmen as well that have been pretty impressive so far here in 2023.
Yeah, Harrison Murray and Kellen Moore, they were with the program last year as freshmen, and had good years. 15 to 20-point kids. Played some really meaningful minutes for us. So it's really cool to see them play with a little bit of confidence and swagger of like, I've been in these games before. I know I can do it, and they're doing a really good job. And then we have another sophomore, Reed Castellanos, who he was with JV in the beginning of the season, excelled down there, and we're like, we have to bring this kid up. And we've kind of thrown him into the fire a little bit, and he's doing a good job competing, and we're excited to see kind of where he brings us.
You mentioned the road trips, being able to take buses now. On those fun little, I played high school sports as well. I've covered, sports for a long time, and I always know that sometimes those trips are the best bonding moments for your players and as a team. Do you have a player on your team that's kind of the adventurer or likes to get the other guys riled up a little bit? Maybe the funniest guy on the team?
We have some pretty big personalities on our team, and they kind of all play off of each other. So, a few that come to mind: Austin Hearn, a big personality. Him and Gus Maggio kind of play off each other well. They have this thing going now. Two kids at Notre Dame. They're brothers, Pat and Chris Kavanaugh. So they try to like emulate what they do in their goal celebrations and kind of their play. So I would say two of them, are kind of fun to be around and get them going. Yeah, we have our guys are a good time, and they definitely know how to have fun. And sometimes we have to do a better job of reeling them back into, all right, we got to do a bunch of stuff and get ready for a game. But for the most part, they're a good, fun group to be around.
Okay, so I like to put a disclaimer out there every once in a while. I'm new to North Carolina. This is my first full year from North Carolina, or in North Carolina. I'm from Indiana. And as you can tell with my voice, I'm not 100%. I've never had allergies, but I think I might now. People like when I moved down here, people warned me about the pollen and pollen season being a serious thing. I'm starting to actually experience it now, and it's nuts. Being an outdoor sport in the springtime in North Carolina, how do you guys handle this? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, it's interesting. So everyone on the team right now currently has like red eyes and the sniffles. And in our minds, we're like, okay, is that like a virus, a cold? Is it just allergies? So we're kind of on high alert with, are we going to have 3 kids go down? Is it just allergies? So yeah, it is definitely interesting. A lot of CVS and Walgreens trips have probably been made to try to get the kids going a little bit better. But yeah, a little added layer to outside sports along with the weather. If we have any heavy rain, that kind of affects a lot of stuff. I always tell John Green, I'm really envious of your climate controlled gym. I don't do well with cold weather or hot weather. I like, if I'm hot or cold, I normally get pretty grumpy, and Prashanti and Fernandez make fun of me because I have like a bag full of like any possible clothing item I could need to make sure that I'm warm. And they're like, it's gonna be cold tonight, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm prepared.
All right, Coach, we have reached the end of the interview where we get to know you a little better. That has nothing to do with sports. It's our segment called Investigator. When you were in school, what was your favorite subject?
I enjoyed my technology class. It was like a woodshop class.
Technology. I feel like that would be different. So when were you in high school?
I graduated high school in 2009.
Okay. All right. I feel I'm right there with you. We're about the same age. And I remember taking like a computer class where you had to like actually type. And I feel like kids today would be like, what? Like, that was a real thing. That was a real thing, kids. Yeah. All right. So if technology was your favorite class, what was your least favorite class?
Any type of math. Yeah, not a big math guy.
Favorite restaurant within the triangle?
So we live in Holly Springs, and My Way Tavern is kind of our go-to spot.
Okay, My Way Tavern.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up. And finally, your favorite band to listen to, or favorite artist?
To be completely honest with you, I'm not a music person whatsoever. Kind of whatever's on the radio. 93.9 I like to listen to. Not even really the music. There's a segment in the morning called the Mailbag where people like call in for advice. So it's interesting to get kind of the radio host's opinions. But I guess, I don't know, maybe any country artist. I guess I like country music.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily have like an artist that I'm like, oh, I really like them. Yeah.
I'll invite you to listen to 98.5 WPTF in the mornings.
Okay.
That's a shameless plug. That's for everybody. Hey, tune into the WPTF Morning Show with Rob Conant, 98.5 FM every morning. All right. Coach, thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast. We really appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.